Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Acha, now India has requested Pakistan to extradite Hafiz Saeed. Hafiz Saeed, the mastermind of 2611. India had also requested Pakistan to extradite Dawood, which Pakistan claims is not there in Pakistan, but even the rickshawala, I am told, in Pakistan knows where Dawood house is. So we have asked them to extradite Dawood. That also didn't happen. Today, let's talk about extradition. Let's talk about how these treaties are formed, and let's talk about how countries extradite fugitives. Let's talk about that. Let's get right with the show. So first, let's talk about this topic of extradition. Why is extradition important? And why do we normally fail when we go to get our fugitives back from different countries? Before we start this concept, let us understand the concept of what is extradition treaty versus what is extradition arrangement. One is when a country has extradition treaty signed with a country. Now, this is contract, proper contract we sign. Okay, and we have signed that with 48 countries. Okay, so under the contract, you can get your fugitive back. Now, there is something called as extradition arrangement. Arrangement is not really contract. Arrangement is ad hoc. Arrangement is verbal. Arrangement is if your diplomatic ties with that particular country is good at that particular point in time. If you are a fantastic diplomat at that point in time in that region, yeah, he may negotiate and get that fugitive back in the country. This is what you call as arrangement. So you have, like I told you, you have treaty and you have arrangement. So treaty, we have 48 countries. Arrangement, we have 12 countries. Now, just to compare this, America has more than 100 countries who have their signed treaties with. UK has more than 100 countries who have their signed treaties with. Even countries like China has more than 57 countries who they have signed treaties with. We have 48. Now, this is where it stands. Okay, now, all this is good. All this we understand. But it is imperative for us to also ensure that people who act against our country, act against our sovereignty, is questioned, picked up, brought to the country and made to face our legal justice system. Why is it necessary? Because if it doesn't happen, then it becomes an easy way out for a person to commit a crime and run away, knowing very well that if I can manage to cross the border, nikal gaya to bach gaya. Now that needs to be restricted. That should not spread, because that feeling, if that feeling spreads amongst the people of this country, amongst the criminals of this country, then we will have a hard time controlling that. Acha. Now, another very important factor is that if you don't have extradition treaty with countries, you don't have a robust extradition treaty with countries, you don't ensure that those treaties are executed by those countries, you don't try and have arrangement with countries you don't have extradition treaty with, you don't ensure that those arrangements are executed, what is going to happen is then you will have rumors of somebody killing somebody shooting somebody. You will find that we get unnecessarily embroiled in incidences where as a sovereign country we shouldn't get embroiled in. Because it's imperative, I repeat, imperative for us to ensure that we go to those countries, work with their legal system and get our fugitive back. Okay, na? This is why this topic is important. Now, let us go to one more interesting aspect of this topic. Let us talk about why we don't get our people back. See, let's take David Hedley. Remember David Hedley? David Hedley, the Pakistani who looked like American, and the man who had two eyeballs had two different colors, right one different, left one different. Anyway, this man was accused of killing 140 Indians in 2611. We have asked for his extradition from United States of America. But the chances are he will never be sent back. He will never be sent back to India. Why? Because he is facing murder of 8 American citizens in United States of America. So they are going to try him, they are going to punish him, and the chances are we will never get to try him and he will never face our courts. Mind you, he is accused of killing 140 Indians. In 1996, the European Court of Human Rights prohibited the deportation of a Sikh separatist. His name is Karamjit Singh Chahal, to India on the possibility of misconduct of Punjab police officials. To establish this, the foreign courts extensively browsed prison manuals and independent reporters of organizations such as Amnesty International, UK High Commission, US Department of State, and Indian National Human Rights Commission. Now, this is that a lot of countries give us, saying that Baba, your courts are, or your legal system, or the way you treat prisoners are not right. It is against human rights. This has been something that we have been facing since 1970s. I have given another example. In 2017, British court rejected the extradition of alleged bookie Sanjeev Kumar Chawla, stating that his human rights may be violated over severe conditions in India's Delhi's Tihar jail. Again, human rights issue. So, the fact is, somewhere down the line, the West has almost taken it for granted that our human right conditions are bad. The conditions in our jails are bad. Now, let me ask you this question. Are they completely wrong when they say this? Are they completely wrong when they say this? Yes, the chances are that the human right conditions of our jail inmates are bad. We are overfilled, they are not treated well, huge amount of corruption that happens inside our jail, VVIP treatment for politically influential and rich people, very bad treatment, worst treatment for people who are poor and who have nobody to kind of support them. That does exist. So they are not completely wrong. So while we say that, okay, we need to, these countries need to extradite our fugitives, we also need to understand that we need to go by the global norms. There are certain global norms that we need to adhere to. Now, let me go and give you some few more cases. Netherlands refused to extradite Neil Hawks, alias Kim Davy, accused of Purulia arms drop case. Do you remember that plane that came into India, dropped arms in Purulia? They refused to extradite the person who did that. Again, reason, human rights. Reason, human rights. We are not getting people, we are failing in courts, international courts, purely because there is a definitive problem when they talk about human rights and the conditions of our jail. These are things which can be corrected. These are things that as a developing country and almost one of the fastest growing economy and all of that, it's time we correct this. It's time we correct our jails. So this is somewhere we can make a difference. Now let me take you through some more interesting case. Because of strong inclination of UK and European courts to consider poor prison conditions, coming back again human rights, poor prison conditions as form of human rights violation, fugitives often raise this as a challenge while hearing extraditions. For instance, Vijay Mallya's lawyer argued that the poor condition of Arthur Road jail in Mumbai will be tantamount to inhuman and degrading treatment. Same problem, human rights. So I showed you 5 cases where we could have won that case. Those people would have been in our jails. People who dropped arms in Purulia, people like Vijay Mallya, they would have been in our jail. But unfortunately, we have a problem, and that problem is that we don't treat our prison inmates like humans. There is a problem. We don't have good facilities in the prison. Facilities that a prisoner deserves globally. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about another case, Abu Salim's case. Do you remember Abu Salim, Dawood's aide? Now in Abu Salim's case, the case was different. You see, an important treaty clause known as rule of speciality mandates that the extradited fugitive will be prosecuted only for the offence for which he has surrendered. For example, when India secured the return of Abu Salim from Portugal, the law enforcement agencies framed additional charges against him for his role in 1993 serial bomb blast. Portugal widely criticized the move, and the Supreme Court in Lisbon held India was in violation of extradition rules. Red flag. You are raising red flag. Either do not sign extradition treaties like this. Do not allow clauses like this in your extradition treaty. We will only arrest a person if for the crime that he is supposed to be arrested for. Otherwise, we will clean off all his other crimes. Don't sign such extradition treaty. Just to add your numbers from 48 to 49, don't sign such extradition treaty because this doesn't make sense. But if you have signed it, then value it. Then stand by it. If you said that I am not going to, get my fugitive, when I get my fugitive back, I am not going to add additional charges against him. My trial will be only for the crimes that he has committed while he was arrested. Fine, stick to that then. Stick to that. If you are not going to do that, if you are going to go against or if you are going to break your contract with one country, rest of the countries would believe that there are chances that you could break the contract because you have violated the contract with Portugal. UK may believe that you could violate the contract with UK too, wouldn't they? And that's the point. That's another thing. Now, of late, instances of high-profile fugitives in economic offence and financial irregularities have surfaced in India. Notably, we are talking about Nirav Modi. Now, Nirav Modi and his uncle Mehul Choksi, who has allegedly duped the Punjab National Bank for approximately 140 billion. Modi has escaped to London while Choksi has gone to Antigua and taken up citizen in that country. Nirav Modi went to London and Mehul Choksi went to Antigua. Now, there too, they are yet to be extradited to India. Chances are they may not. Again, chances are they may not. Why? Because there's another problem. You see, what you consider criminal, they consider civil. Is a bank fraud civil? Is a bank fraud criminal? How do you fight it? Antigua and UK says this could be civil offences. India says no, they are criminal offences. He has defrauded the bank. So here is their story. Let's go to some more stories. So let me talk to you about another couple, Jatinder, Asha, Rani, Angurala. Jatinder and Asha Rani Angurala. Okay, these guys they have cheated a bank, they have defrauded a bank, and they ran away to UK. UK says that listen, we were willing to talk, but your CBI delayed. हम लोग थोड़ी तुम्हारे CBI के लिए रुकने वाला है. CBI delayed. So because of your CBI delay, we are not going to send them back. They are back in UK safely. Okay, I'll tell you another case. Lalit Modi, the former chairman of IPL. Lalit Modi, the UK court says, हमको तो मिला ही नहीं है. We have not even got your extradition request. What extradition are you talking about? This is what the UK court said in 2017. Now, the reason I am taking you through all these cases are the different reason why our people are not extradited. Our fugitives are not extradited, not our people, my apologies, but our fugitives are not extradited. The point that I am trying to make is, listen, somewhere down the line, unless and until we clean this system, we clean our own internal problem. There is a group of people, a committee or whatever you call it, sitting back in India and saying that, listen, more and more people are running away from India after doing crime and we are not able to get back these people. We should not just be looking outwardly, we should also be looking inwardly as to how we can do things better within our country. That's the point I am taking, and it's taking a little long. It's a slightly largish editorial, but I am taking you through this is because I really want to take you through the different aspect in which our country couldn't get our people. You know, there's a guy called Warren Anderson. Warren Anderson was the CEO of Union Carbide. Union Carbide, remember, the company that killed thousands of innocent people in Bhopal, the cause of Bhopal gas tragedy. This guy, Warren Anderson, was arrested in India, but under US pressures, we left him. Under US pressures, we left him. And then later on, one day when everything dawned to us, we went back to US and said, no, extradite him back. US didn't do it. US didn't do it. So the person who was in our soil, we left him, and then we are now running behind courts to get him back. So this is another problem. The last story that I would like to tell you is about Ibrahim Dawood. Why is Ibrahim Dawood not coming in? Ibrahim Dawood was in Dubai. We have an extradition treaty with Dubai. Dubai was supposed to send it back, but Dubai said, listen, you know what? You don't reciprocate, yeah? We'll send you Ibrahim Dawood, but have you sent us our man, V. Sitaraman, who embezzled 42 million dirhams, who is in India. You're not sending that person to us. Why should we send Dawood to you? So what I wanted to tell you is not just discuss the problem with you, but also make you aware of what are the reasons why countries are not extraditing people. It is not just like that, that nahi karne ka. Aisa nahi hota hai. There are reasons, and these reasons needs to be sorted out. And somebody in our country needs to sit, put things together and ensure that we are ready to ensure, or we are equipped to ensure that we can go win an extradition treaty in various, or extradition battle in various countries. When I say battle, I mean legal battle in various countries. And we can get our fugitives back. We can get people who cheat us, con us, murder our people, do act of terrorism in our land, and go out there and we can get them back. Now, that being said, all this being said, let me give you some figures. These figures I've taken from a very reliable source, and that is Observer Research Foundation, ORF. Observer Research Foundation also gives viable inputs to decision makers in the government of India. So you can call this a very credible data. And according to this data, the number of fugitives that has been returned to India, that has been extradited to India during the last so many years, till 2018. This report is of 2018. So till 2018, UAE has extradited the maximum number of people back to India, followed by United States of America, then Canada, then Thailand, then South Africa, Germany. You can see the list in your screen. That's the first thing. Now let me also give you one more interesting data before we call it a day, and that is the reason why people run away. The people who were returned, I mean not the reason why people who run away, but the frauds which these fugitives had committed in India before they were extradited back to India. And top in that is murders and attempt to murders. Second is criminal conspiracy. Third, terrorism. Fourth, cheating. Fifth, financial frauds. Sixth, economic offense. Organized crime. Waging war against India. Sexual offense. Bank fraud and others. These are the categories in which people did the crime here, ran away, and these people were brought back. So this is the data. And you see, while we are talking about treaties with UK and US and all the other countries in the world, we should also understand that the first thing we should do is have treaties with our neighbors. Do we have a treaty with Pakistan? Had we had a treaty with Pakistan, Dawood would have been here, or Hafiz Saeed would have been. It would have been easy to get Hafiz Saeed. Do we have a treaty with Maldives? Do we have a treaty with Afghanistan? We signed a treaty with Bangladesh just 2019. That's the point of my editorial. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for patiently hearing me. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.